Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. As always, I am so excited to have you guys here. And if you're new, hello and welcome. My name's Claire. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm super passionate about all things health and wellness, and I'm here to help support you on your health journey. I also love to cook, so I love sharing wholesome and healthy meal ideas, and that's what we're doing this week. So jumping right into the week, we're starting off on Monday morning, and if you guys watch my other videos, you may have noticed I do not go into work on Mondays. I work Tuesday through Saturday. So Monday are really my rest and reset day. So I took a slower start to the day. I just made up a omelet. I had a bunch of mushrooms in my fridge, so I sauteed those up in some garlic and parsley, and then I made a little omelet with a few eggs, the mushroom. You guys know I've also been on a huge goat cheese kick, so I added some of that as well, made my omelet, and then I had some sourdough bread from a local bakery, so I added that as well, and some avocado. And yeah, it was just a very slow and peaceful start to the morning. And then after my breakfast, I decided to make myself a coffee because I wanted to get a good amount of journaling done. I really like to take some time at the beginning of the year to reflect on the past year and set really clear intentions. Normally I do this in the week in between Christmas and New Year's, but I got sick during that week this year and I just didn't get a chance to do that much journaling. I really wanted to sit down and make a plan for myself and just reflect on the last year. Honestly, 2023 flew by for me. There was a lot of change for me this year, and I felt like I just wasn't that intentional with my actions, with my thoughts, but especially with my time. And in 2024, I really want to focus on just slowing down and having a slower pace. And I think a big part of that will just be being more intentional with my time. But intentionality does require a plan, and I think that's something that gets often overlooked in our lives. We set big goals, but we often forget to make a plan on how we're actually going to achieve those goals. So I just took some time and wrote down some ways that I can really integrate more intentionality into my life. But I would love to know in the comments below what your guys' goals are for the new year, and if you guys have made specific plans on how you're going to achieve those.
Shall I compare to a summer day? She's the sun, she fill out the gray. Quench my thirst, she's my lemonade. The yellow that I couldn't paint.
So for lunch, I just made myself a salad, and this is the moment where I realized that there was a hole in one of my favorite wooden bowls. So all my salad dressing leaked, but I just switched it into a different bowl. And then for my salad, I just used olive oil and balsamic vinegar for the dressing. I had this leftover purple sweet potato. Just look at the polyphenols in that. It's just gorgeous. I also opened up a can of sardines. I've talked about this in a number of videos, but I loved canned sardines as a protein source. They are incredibly easy to add to your meals. They are very high in omega-3s. They're also further down the food chain than larger fish like tuna or salmon, so they're going to be lower in mercury. I always like to add some sort of nuts or seed to my salad, so I added some pumpkin seeds as well. And that was my lunch. And then after lunch, I went for a walk to the grocery store, so I thought I'd share with you guys my grocery haul. Okay, hi guys. So I just got back from the grocery store, so I thought I would do a really quick grocery haul, show you guys what I got for the week. I generally break my groceries down into fruits and vegetables, carbs, protein, and then if I need to pick up any other condiments or specialty items. So I think that we will go in that order and just run through it pretty quick. I didn't buy a ton of food. Generally, I just eat by myself because I live alone. So I just buy for one, and I try and buy enough food to get me to Friday because my boyfriend normally comes for the weekends, and then we end up like going and getting food and cooking stuff together for the weekend. So I just try and buy enough to get me to Friday. So here is everything that I bought. So I got 2 big bags of frozen broccoli, onion, I got a big bag of rainbow carrots, a bag of avocados, and then a few apples. That is kind of my fruit and vegetable haul. I also have a bunch of frozen veggies, so I didn't go too crazy on the fruits and vegetables. And then for carbohydrates, I got a few more sweet potatoes. I had to get more rice, so I picked up some white rice and black rice. And then for protein, I got Greek yogurt because I'm gonna try and make a baked oatmeal. So I'm gonna have that with my baked oatmeal in the morning, some eggs, and then chicken, because I'm gonna try and make a rice, chicken, and veggie meal prep dish for dinner tonight. The only other thing that I grabbed because I was out was my sauerkraut. So yeah, I will show you guys like a quick little clip of everything that I got, and then I'm gonna get started on meal prepping my baked oats for the week and making dinner. Okay, so I had no recipe for these baked oats, but they ended up turning out really delicious. So these are the oats that I use. I like them because they are sprouted and glyphosate free. And then I added some cinnamon, salt, soy milk. I also added in some Greek yogurt. I added in an egg to bind it, but I definitely think you could leave this out. And then I also added some vanilla. Oh, I sweetened it with coconut sugar as well. I will type out all the ingredients in the description box below. And then I also wanted to add flax seeds and chia seeds. With flax seeds, I always buy my flax seeds whole and store them in the freezer. This helps to prevent oxidation, but really to absorb the nutrients we need to grind them. So I recommend buying them whole, storing them in the freezer, and then grinding them fresh. I love adding flax seeds to my meals. They are super high in ligands, and this really contributes to the phytoestrogenic effect that they have, which means they are great for modulating hormones. They're also incredibly high in alpha lipoic acid, which is the plant-based omega-3. They're also just packed with fiber, so I always like to add them to any baked good or oatmeal or anything like that. And I also just added some blueberries just for some fruit. I was actually really happy with how the baked oatmeal turned out. You guys will see I paired it with Greek yogurt every morning for breakfast, and this was just a super high protein, high fiber breakfast, which is really what I try to aim for. I just find my days go so much better when I start my day off with high protein, high fiber breakfast.
Quench my thirst, she's my lemonade. The yellow that I couldn't paint. Shall I compare to a summer day? Just like the sun, it will never fade. The cool breeze in the shade, my four leaves to the blade, right to my mistakes. I just know she'll be my downfall. When the rain it pours, my heart will forever take a toll. 'Cause she's all I know, she's all I know, she's all I know. Shall I compare to a winter solstice?
So for dinner, I wanted to try something new. You guys know I don't really follow recipes. I just kind of have an idea in my mind, and then I try to do my best to bring that to life. So I wanted to do a chicken bake because I have seen these on Pinterest and they look absolutely delicious. I started by just browning my chicken. I didn't cook it all the way through, and then I added some onions and carrots back into my pan, and I just let those cook down in the juices from the chicken. I also made a quick seasoning blend with onion powder, garlic powder, rosemary, thyme, salt, and pepper. And I used about half of that to cook my chicken. And then I also added some bone broth. You could also just use stock or even water. I think it would turn out delicious. I just like the extra health benefit you get from using bone broth. And then I also added my rice that I rinsed. I used a mixture of black and white rice. I also added in some frozen peas because I had them on hand. And at this point, I realized I forgot to add the rest of the seasoning blend. I would actually recommend sauteing your vegetables with the spices, but I just didn't do that. I gave that a toss, and then I added back in my chicken, and then I just popped this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 to 45 minutes, just until the rice was cooked, all the liquid was absorbed, and then I just let it sit for a few minutes. This was absolutely delicious. I was actually really happy with how this turned out. It kind of tasted like chicken soup, but in a rice bowl form, and it made for amazing leftovers for the week. I also ended up having mine with some sauerkraut just to get some gut healthy fermented food in there. And then for dessert, you guys know I like to have a little sweet treat. So this week I picked up a dark chocolate and sea salt bar, and it was absolutely delicious.
Why is it gotta be so complicated? Maybe this love thing's overrated. My feet in the sand, my face in my hands. I know it's my fault 'cause I never make plans. And now you're telling me you love me, but you don't even know me. I'm trying to hang, but if you follow me slowly, yeah. 'Cause I've been thinking lately, if I take
And on Tuesday morning, I had to leave pretty early for work, so I brought my breakfast with me. I took some baked oats, Greek yogurt, and I topped my Greek yogurt with maple syrup, hemp seeds, and a little bit of almond butter. And I just took that with a coffee to go. And I'm really lucky. I live super close to my office, so I was able to come home for lunch, and I just made some leftovers. I warmed up some of the leftover rice mixture and chicken. It was super delicious, and I just had that with some more of my sauerkraut, and that was my lunch.
What I'm trying to get to with every single issue and everything that you do, baby. I wanna make sure that girl, I take my time, try to get it right. I could see you in a different light.
And for dinner, we are making one of my favorite staple simple dinners. Whenever I'm feeling just kind of lazy in the kitchen, I will just make a carb, veggie, and protein dinner, and then usually add a fermented food and a fat. Lately, that has been purple sweet potato, roasted frozen broccoli, and either sardines or chicken. It's just my go-to kind of lazy girl dinner. I always cook my frozen broccoli the same way. I will put it in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes, let it dry out, and then I'll season it with garlic powder, avocado oil, salt, and then throw it in for another 20 or 30 minutes. While that was cooking, I opened up another can of sardines. You guys know, I just love these sardines. I just warmed that up in a little skillet, and then I just assembled my bowl. You guys will see I also added some sauerkraut and tahini. This was just such a quick, simple dinner.
I could see you, baby, in a different light. If I take my time, try to get it right. I could see you, baby, in a different light.
And on Wednesday, I worked in the morning and then came home and made lunch. And for lunch, I have been on a huge kind of medium boiled egg, somewhere between a soft and a hard boiled egg. But I wanted to answer a question that I get asked a lot, and that is why I added eggs back into my diet. If you guys didn't know, I used to be completely plant-based, and then eggs were one of the first animal foods I added back in. And one of the reasons was because the egg yolks are so nutrient dense. They are so high in so many vitamins and minerals, but especially choline. And choline is so important for a number of functions in the body. It's actually really important for the methylation cycle. It's important for neurotransmitter synthesis. It's important for cognitive function, liver and digestive health. It's also really important in mediating oxidative stress and controlling your metabolism. So that is kind of the long answer as to why I added eggs back into my diet. And then I just found that I felt really good, so I continued to add in more animal food. And over time, I've just found that the widest variety of foods that I include in my diet, that is really what makes me feel my best. And we also know that having a wide variety of food in your diet just helps you to meet all of your nutritional needs. If you guys are interested in these topics or just interested in learning more about your health and nutrition, I would definitely recommend joining my email list. Each week I do kind of a deep dive into a different topic. This week I think we're talking about fiber. Next week we are talking about choline. If you guys are interested in that, I will put the link for my email list in the description box below, and you guys can just check that out. But anyway, moving on to dinner. So I got a text from my mom, and she wanted to know if I wanted to meet up for dinner. So I said, for sure, yes. My mom has been a huge part of my support system the past few years, and it's really nice now that I'm not living with my parents to still see them on a regular basis. So we went to Fresh and we got some bowls. I got the protein bowl with tofu, tempeh, and then I came home, had a few almond butter cups for dessert, and that was my day.
That's cool. I did what I was supposed to. There's nothing left for me to do. So now I'm poking out my head through open windows. Cause that's what I feel like. Do it tonight.
for lunch, I had this weird craving for an egg salad. I did not have any celery. That's what you normally put in an egg or chicken salad. I had no celery, but I did have carrots, so I shredded up some carrots. I also hard boiled up some eggs, and I mixed that together with some mashed avocado. I also added some avocado mayo as well, and I think I seasoned it with parsley, garlic powder, and salt. I just mashed that all together, and I served that on top of some spring mix and had it with some sourdough. This was such a quick, easy, delicious lunch. This will definitely become a hyperfixation meal for me. I can already tell. And then for dinner, I just warmed up some more of my leftovers. I did end up adding some goat cheese on top, and it definitely up-leveled the leftovers. So just your sign, if you need a sign to go and get goat cheese, this is your sign, but it does really just up-level any dinner or meal in my opinion. Now, Fridays do tend to be my most busy day, both in clinic and socially. So for breakfast, I just packed more of my overnight oats and I just brought that to work with me. Oh, and there is a little special guest in the video. You guys can all say hi. Anyway, yeah, so I brought my coffee and then I also packed my lunch. I just made more of that egg salad, brought it with some Mary's crackers. It was a super quick, easy, and delicious lunch. And then for dinner, I ended up going out for sushi. And yeah, that was my week of eating. As always, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got some meal ideas or inspiration. As always, I am just here to help support you guys on your health journey, whatever that looks like in the year 2024 and beyond. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.